everyone, welcome to our channel, Age Gap Gone Right, 32 years of proving people wrong. I'm Tyla.
And I'm Rob.
And we're glad you're back to our channel. So today's video is going to be about how people reacted to our age difference. So just a reminder, if you didn't watch our first video, when we got married, I was 26, Rob was 42 or 43. So 17,
Can't remember.
No. 17 years age difference. So I was very young, he was middle age, and I had a young child. Rob had, we didn't talk about this the other day, Rob had a set of twin boys that were just graduating high school, right? So that's kind of the predicament we were in when we got together and decided to get married. So I don't know about your opinion, but the way people reacted, my biggest concern was our children and our parents. So I'll go first. My parents, I was 26, I had a great set of parents, great father, great mother, so I wasn't looking for a father figure, but my parents did not react negatively at all. I think their biggest concern was that I had a 9-year-old child and just wanted to make sure everything was okay with him. So didn't have any negative reactions. Really, the only thing that my mother said that stuck out in my mind that was probably the best piece of advice she gave me was, if it's meant to be, it will happen. And it did. It did happen. It was meant to be and it happened. So how about your dad?
Well, first of all, I had everybody's heard the term of male menopause. Well, I don't know that I believe that. Honestly, I don't really know what it is. I don't care to know what it is. I don't care. Anyway, the reaction that my mother had passed, the reaction that my dad had, my dad was one of the most positive people I know. And he knew also that what's done is done. There's no sense of going backward and trying to rehash things, So he was very supportive. Actually, he really was kind of happy, and he just connected with her immediately. So for me, it was all good.
Yeah, good guy. Next was our children. As I said, I had a 9-year-old boy. Rob was his martial art teacher for a while before we started dating. So he didn't have a negative reaction. His was more of a childlike reaction, like, "You're dating my teacher," that kind of thing, my karate teacher. So he was fine with it. And then once we were together and he met Rob's boys, they were just like that. They couldn't be separated, so it worked out really well. So, and then Rob, your boys,
they wanted what was best for me, and
right.
they were supportive, glad, and they also connected with her, and it's hard not to connect with her if you know her.
Yeah. And then friends, we didn't have any mutual friends. I wouldn't say that any of our friends reacted negatively. They might have been a little surprised, but if they thought negative things, they didn't let it be known to us. The only thing that we've seen a reaction was the clients at the karate school. We lost a few clients just because they knew Rob from teaching their children before I was ever in the picture, and I don't know if they thought he'd lost his mind or what, but we lost a few clients. But in the end, I think I wouldn't even say more than two, maybe 2 or 3. And in the end, it didn't matter. We did just fine. So,
but let's just get down to it. The friends, they're going to be supportive of you, because they are your friends. Now, your acquaintances and things like that, you talk about a tongue lashing, you're going to get it. They're not going to buy into it. We had people that left the school and said, "I'm not going to repeat what they said." All kinds of stuff. We would get phone calls from people that we barely knew, and they was just going crazy, just having a heyday because of the age difference. And honestly, I told her, I said, "Look, if these people want to leave the school, that's fine with me. They're grown-ups. They can make their own decisions. However, I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. but I don't care. So that's the approach that we took. I told her we may have to start all over, and that doesn't bother me. But what I don't want a lot of people around me that's not supportive or don't have my best interest in mind. Just like, if you have a friend, if you really have a friend, you have their best interest in mind.
Right.
It's not up to you to judge, but people will judge you. And so in the beginning, you need to have thick skin, and you need to realize that the people you can't control what they say or what they think, but you can control whether or not you're around them. And if you're not willing to do that, or if it's going to bother you, maybe you need to rethink about what you're doing. And for us, we went into it knowing exactly what to expect. We got no less than that, so we're good, But right now, that's just water under the bridge.
Yeah, we did have one. I probably shouldn't even say this on the video. We did have one distant family member that made a comment, a very inappropriate comment, and I'm sure that he came back later. I mean, we spoke to him several times after that, and obviously he had changed his tune. But people are going to say bad things, and there's really nothing you can do about it. But we went into it, like you said, knowing what we were doing and what to expect, and that's another thing. Being the center of the talk, the gossip talk. That's what we were. People were talking about us, burning us up behind our backs, and we knew that, and we expected it, so it didn't bother us, didn't change our minds. And again, if it's a true friend, if it's a good family member, they're going to stand by you anyway. So I guess that's a question that a lot of people need to think about. How would you react if your child came to you, your adult child, and said, "This is what I'm doing"? Or one of your good friends. What if you have a good friend that, got divorced and said, a couple of years later said, I've met a younger woman, or I've met an older man. How would you react? Think about that. I mean, you always have their best interest in mind, but sometimes you got to be careful what you say, because once it comes out of your mouth, you can't take it back. I mean, people might forgive you, but they don't forget about it. It's always in the back of their mind, because I remember everything everybody said. Don't hold them against it. I do not hold grudges. But, sometimes you have to eat your words, so. And 32 years later, I think people are eating their words somewhat, so.
Eventually, people come around. You got to give them a little time. It's kind of a shock. But then, the way I approach this, anyway, if you meet the person that you're supposed to be married to, age doesn't play into that. Age doesn't have a thing to do with a person's spirit and actually what you're marrying. I mean, you see what you're marrying. That's, but it's deeper than that. It's more spiritual. You're marrying somebody's character, their spirit, and you're going to grow together. And age, we'll talk about this later. The challenges that age differences have and stuff like that. And some of it's funny, most of it's funny, actually, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and again, our most important concerns were our immediate family, and everybody came together and gelled around us, and everybody got along fine then and gets along fine now, and we have no regrets. We didn't have a big marriage. I already had a child. Rob had children, so we didn't go out and have a big wedding. We eloped, came back and told our families. So we didn't expect anything from anybody. We didn't expect celebrations or anything. We were just excited for ourselves, and we're hoping that our family and friends were excited for us, and they were. And we have a great set of friends now that, we have friends that are my age, we have friends that are Rob's age, and we have friends all in between. So it's a good thing. It's been a good thing.
Actually, it's just something that we joke about. I joke about it with my friends. They joke about it. It's just what it is. And some people, they have these deep-seated core beliefs that they just do not believe in that much age difference in the marriage, and they're entitled to that, and that's fine. You know, and you run into people like that from time to time. But like I say, if that bothers you, rethink it. Maybe you shouldn't be doing this anyway. But honestly, I could care less.
And we're not offended by it. We received one negative comment, you know, saying that, you know, they didn't agree with us, and that's fine. But we've received a lot of positive comments, and we do want to hear back from you. We want to hear, how would you have reacted if someone had been around you and decided to do the type of scenario that we're in, or if you are married to a younger person or an older person with a big age gap, how were you treated? How did people respond to you and react to you? Did you lose friends? Did you lose family? It happens in not just age gap situations, but in different ethnicities. You know, just all kinds of marriages. You know, people have conflicts with, and if it's your belief, it's your belief. But like Rob said, sometimes you might want to rethink stuff. And if you're one of those people that are talking behind somebody's back or staring at them and, you know, gossiping, you might want to rethink that, you know, because you don't know the whole situation. So, and you know, we were thrown under the bus by several people, and you know, it'll never last, and here we are still hanging out together. So, but it's been all good. So our next videos, we're going to talk about some of the funny things that we've had to deal with over the years and continue to deal with, and the pros and cons and all that. So I think that's about it for today's video.
I'm good.
So we appreciate your comments. I'd love to hear back from you. Give us a like, give us a subscribe to our channel, and we will be back with our next video soon. Take care.